Boris Fritz's background is in nanotechnology, including technologies that you might only read about in science fiction. But to understand this technology requires a deep understanding of energy. Boris's path to the understanding of subtle nuances of energies goes back 4 decades when he began yoga and meditation. This passion took him deep into the studies of the Yugas, or great cycles of history, cycles that raise our consciousness as a species.
Since we're rising out of the Dark Age, which is the age of slavery to the senses, that's also why you have slavery ending in terms of an institution. Like in 1832, you have the American colonies and the English colonies stopping slavery. You have the serfs, 23 million serfs freed in 1861 in Russia, and Lincoln freeing the slaves, and then in 1910, China banned slavery. So there are different levels of understanding this, but we are going into this age of energy. That's another part of the Vedic keys that it's hard time to cover, but you go from sloth, from tamas, to rajas, which is energy. So you have this huge influx of energy coming in our age. And the problem is we're still holding on to these dogmatic, fundamentalist, simplistic ideas of the Dark Age, and we don't want to let go, but all this energy is coming in. So it's like stirring up mud, and you can't see clearly because you're in this sense of mudness. And so people, like, they drink coffee when they can't feel the energy. They're trying to live in this energy world that's just driving them crazy because they can't adapt to this higher frequency because we're still holding on to these other things. So people can get very violent because they want things the way they used to be, kind of quietly live on the way we were going. It's good enough for me, and I don't want anything new, and let me go. And you can see a lot of that in fundamentalist Islam, unfortunately, whereas there are other wonderful people in Islam as well, the Sufis.
It's all forms of fundamentalism, really.
So it's happening all over the world, and so people feel this threat because their status quo is no longer acceptable.
There's a great deal of wisdom, both ancient and modern, in Boris's words. For the full interview, go to ConsciousMediaNetwork.com.